Panera before I came in. It's the only food I've eaten today. And dude was very nice. He was, he said, I like the pink. He made it, crack some jokes. It was a nice interaction. So yeah, I appreciate it. It's very comfy too. I think it's the Gap. Very soft.
Gap.
Big fan.
We love our outlet stores. Not even outlet's the wrong word. Department stores.
I found it I found a nice one at Kohl's or something.
Kohl's is fire. Don't sleep on Kohl's. I get so much at Kohl's. Kohl's is like, here's all this stuff for free.
You know my hat that says keep it green that's got Snoopy on it?
Vaguely, yeah.
From Kohl's?
Yeah.
Fire.
Got a lot of shit.
See, I'm a big Target guy. I wear a lot of Target, a lot of Gap. Target Goodfellow clothing from Target. Very, very nice. That's my go-to. Anyways, hello everybody. Hello. Celtics Raptors tonight off the backs of a tough loss to the 76ers. I don't know about you guys. I'm not too pressed about the loss. It is what it is. I mean, it sucks because they could have won it and they probably should have won it. They collapsed, and that internally speaking, that's probably not what you want to see. But in the grander perspective, whatever, tough.
I think if you want to take anything away from it, yeah, it's great. Philly barely beat them or whatever. Not great that they couldn't close the game. You still had the majority of your closers out there. You missed Jaylen for sure because, you always say, Jack, he's really great at creating his own shot and getting you a bucket when you need it. Yeah. And if there's any time you needed a bucket, it was yesterday because they couldn't stop Embiid. They were just here. They were here, shoot at the free throw line because we're afraid you're going to fall all over the place if we defend you. But they missed Jaylen, sure. You still had Smart. You still had Tatum. You still had White, who played really well. Mm-hmm. You should have been able to create something better than what you did down the stretch. You had a pretty solid fourth quarter up until you went up 5. I said it to you yesterday. I thought Brogdon missing 2 free throws when Embiid checked back in was kind of the backbreaker. They did recover from that, but it just felt like you were going to have a real hard time stopping Philly after you screwed that up. Also, I would like to see them close games better. If you want to take a good thing from it, it is good that they probably had their eyes open. Hey, we still need to figure out how to close.
Sorry, Tim, you need to notice it. You've been absent for 4 games.
Oh, and I know.
Landon's been begging you to notice his name.
I appreciate it, Landon. Glad to be back. Been dealing with a lot of.
Did you see Landon's name though? You understand the name change? Yeah, that's what he's been looking for.
Yes. I'm slowing the uptake today.
That's all right. That's all right. Very funny. Jimmy J. D. White needs to be starting at this point with his team. I've seen enough. Hey,
he was excellent.
Starting
coming in hot, man.
I think him and Smart. I think he needs to start fine there. Hey guys, Derek White was open on that last shot.
What do you think of that, Jack? Did you see that today? I saw it a couple times.
As in Tatum's last shot?
Yes.
It was a broken play, I think.
I didn't pay attention.
So Tatum gets the ball double. So he gets the ball in the corner.
I'll go watch right now.
Whoever's guarding him is guarding him. Then Embiid rushes over off of White on the inbounds, and White's wide open for 3. I saw somebody reply to another person complaining about it, saying there's only 1.3 seconds. It's kind of a lot to ask a pass to get to White and for him to shoot the ball in that amount of time.
I want to go look at the timing. Yeah, let me watch.
I kind of agree. But I will say this about that final play, and I texted you about it. I'm kind of sick. It worked on the other end, but I'm sick of Smart falling down on these plays when they really should just execute the play. That's my guy. But they already got the bailout, you fell down, so we're going to blow the whistle call. They should have just went through, ran what was called, and tried to get a good shot. I think him falling down really made them have to panic. Like you said, Tim, it was a broken play.
Well, Tatum said that too. Tatum said in his postgame presser that he thought that Smart had gotten fouled. And so he,
all right, let's watch.
He paused for a second and wasn't sure what to do. And then his momentum took him away from the basket. So he sees him fall right there. He did get fouled there. That's
they would have had a wide open look if he didn't.
Watch this.
He got hooked. He did get hooked, but that was a foul. He probably should have just fought through it.
Not going to get that call after
he should have fought through it.
Call.
Yeah. I think it was a foul, but I also think Smart should have just fought through it because he could have fought through it.
But that's what messed him up because Tatum was there behind him, right? Tatum sets that, and then he's trying to roll there.
If Smart fights through here, well, actually, at the same time, Sam, you said they would have an open look. That's not an easy pass to make for Derek White.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Hang on.
By the whole side of the floor is wide open.
Yeah,
I know.
He doesn't have to go right into the basket. He could go.
All right. So, anyways, let's watch Tatum. the Tatum thing. They do get it into Tatum clean here, right?
Yep.
I don't
Good
know
pass.
why they were like, oh yeah,
This
he's
is where
got-
people were like, he should have gave it back.
I understand, but like the Embiid's right here, right? Like
It's a little different when the
first off-
picture's frozen.
You know what I'm saying? First off,
Yeah.
making this pass is one thing. Like, sure, Derek White's open, but not Tatum. Even if Embiid wasn't here, he would have to make the pass. Derek White would have to step in because he's still like getting inbounds. He'd have to take either deep.
Well,
three or
I think
step
if you
in and
hit
chuck
pause and then unpause, like for another point two, that's where people were saying, like right
that's
there.
not enough
it. That's
time.
and you can't
It's
make
not
that pass.
enough time.
I
Like,
agree.
this
I don't
is-
think it was enough time
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
No.
And I've been like the Rip Tatum guy for like the last month and a half because he had been bad. He was actually, even though people yesterday said he was bad, and I didn't particularly think he was bad.
He shot
What-
inefficient. He was inefficient.
I,
but
I
didn't
thought
think
he
was
came to
awful.
play yesterday. I don't
So-
think he took
Yeah.
over the game and dominated, but I think he went back and forth with Embiid in that third quarter when they really needed him to.
I think 1.6 seconds. This is the only time you can argue Tatum could have made the pass because he's still looking this way. But at this point, you'd have to either pass it in around Embiid, like
It's just
like
he also has to
interior-
establish
it was just
himself
too hard.
too.
Yeah, it was just
Derek
too
has
hard.
to establish himself inbounds before he gets that ball. So he
Mhm.
has to have both feet inbounds before that ball gets
I mean,
to him, I think.
That'd be here. It'd be like here.
Yeah.
And at this point, Tatum's already turning around for a shot, 1.5. Maybe, but I'm not nitpicking on that.
He said his
Excuse me,
momentum also
ridiculous.
took him away from the hoop there too, because he was swinging over that way to get the inbound, and because of where it was, I mean, it's a tough shot. It's a
I don't
bad
hate the shot. It's not the end of the world.
I don't hate it given the situation. I just think that they should have had a better setup to it. I think that
Maybe.
having everyone on the opposite side of the court there just kind of bunched up. It just didn't work.
I'm
as well
sorry,
as it
William.
could have.
I can't agree with you on this take. I'd rather have time run out making the right play.
No,
No,
What?
no, you
that's a
don't.
bad
No.
take.
You say you do until it happens, and then you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would happen, and then he'd be like, "Why didn't he just take
It
the
took
shot?
too long to get into
Yeah,
the
What the
action.
hell? I'd rather have a chance to win the game than just have them hold the ball."
Yeah. No, I can't agree with you on that one. But
I think my biggest gripe from yesterday, initially when I first saw it, I was like, "Why the hell's White inbounding the ball if he's actually been hot?" But then I was
I
like,
think Marcus should have inbounded
Marcus
the ball.
should have.
if you want to say it, yes, but then if you watch the play, it's not the worst thing in the world if you had been more like conscious of what was. If it wasn't a broken play, you could have got the ball back to him. Usually that inbounder is
Also-
wide open.
Inbound play. We can nitpick that play all day. How the hell were they even in that game? Like
Also that
crazy.
too, which is why I'm not
Nuts.
mad about it. I'm just kind of like, all right, well, they won the season series. They win one more game, they're locked into two, correct? Because
Yes,
we'll have
if
the
they win today,
tiebreaker over
that's the end
Philly,
of it.
and then
Also-
that's it. Exactly. They just take their foot off the
I
accelerator.
I
they
would have
rest
liked
everybody.
them not to leave PJ Tucker open after he made the first three. I get leaving
Like
him the
3
first time.
threes in like 5 minutes.
I
See,
get to like make him shoot one, but if he makes, then you kind of have to respect.
Well,
it.
no,
I
no,
also do understand you might want to double team the guy that's scoring.
That's
and
what I'm
making every
saying.
shot. But
that's what I'm saying. I understand the philosophy of double teaming Embiid on the jumper rather than guarding PJ Tucker in the corner. Like at that point, you have to pick and choose your battles. I would rather take the chance that PJ Tucker misses a three than Embiid misses a mid-range jumper when he's got half the team's points. You know what I'm saying? Like I
You-
understand the thinking there at least.
You don't have to pull it up, but it would be funny just to look at Embiid's shot chart because it's definitely all makes in one
He took-
spot.
I did the math because I wrote about Embiid for Celtics blog. He took 25 shots. This and obviously the shot chart you don't see like times he was in the paint and he got fouled. He took 13 free throws as well. But of his 25 field goal attempts, 8 of them were in the restricted area, and then the other 17 were
One was a three.
jumpers, and he made 12 of 17 jumpers.
Good
Like,
for him.
You know what I'm
Good
saying?
for
Like
him.
yeah, at that point, what are you gonna
But
do?
if he's gonna settle for those, like come playoff,
You have to
time,
let
That
it.
was the
you
most
have to let him
impressive
take them.
scoring performance I may have
Yes.
ever seen.
that was dominant. That
He was
You
efficient.
you might get mad at me for saying that. Like chat might be like, well, like
He might
LeBron
have-
game 6 or like you pick like whatever game like is a crazy
Yeah.
scoring game. That was a crazy thing because I thought it was like really legit, which is typically not what you get from Embiid. It's a lot of falling all over the place, and he made them pay. He took his
And-
jumpers in his spot, made them, kept making them. Like good for him, dude. Like I'm
I
not
know
mad
Sam
at
hates
that.
this conversation, but he might have just won the MVP last night.
I think he
like
did.
legitimately.
I think he
like
did.
that might have been the Embiid wins the MVP.
You know what would have been great is if they beat Milwaukee. then I'd be
Yeah,
impressed.
right.
Beat Giannis. Play
and
against
also-
Jokic. Coward.
And also, that's the thing too. I think that head-to-head between these MVP candidates kind of matters because the Celtics are 3-1 against the Sixers this year. The Celtics have a winning record against the Bucks this year, and Tatum went off in those games. Unfortunately, I feel like if Tatum went off in this game, it would have been a different story. I think that probably would have helped his MVP conversation a lot. But at the end of the day,
I need
like
to look at the
Joel
box
Embiid
scores. I
kind
really
of
don't think he was
deserves
that
it.
bad.
And that was all I'll say is this is that the 76ers won by 2 points. The Celtics really didn't have any business being in that game. They were down 2 starters, and it took Embiid getting literally going like Super Saiyan and getting 52 points in order for them to win by 2. And even then, it was not a surefire thing. What's going on, Lewis? I know we got Phil in the chat too. Birkin's in
Hello,
here
Phil.
too, so welcome
Hello,
everybody.
hello.
Welcome. But just I'm unfazed by that win, but I do
Yeah.
agree, Jack. That's my only takeaway. I wrote up some quotes from Tatum, and that was like the only takeaway that I have from this game is that Joel Embiid probably is going to get the MVP, and there's no one who could win the MVP this year that I would say doesn't deserve it.
Yeah,
Except maybe like Luka.
I mean, I know Sam hates this conversation, so we don't have to like talk about it extensively. And I know Sam has shared this thought as well. Like, I feel like Giannis is getting seriously cheap shotted, like for the award, like as in like he deserves way more
Giannis
credit. Like
ripped
why
off
isn't
a
he the MVP?
16-plus game win streak. I don't know how many it eventually got to, but they won
16.
a million games in a row. They came back from the Celtics being scorched earth and took the 1 seed, and he continues to just dominate. It's just he already won the award, so they can't give it to him. It's
Well,
essentially
how
what
many
it
games
is.
did he miss this year?
Played 63.
Yeah, he's gonna play enough.
So by the standard that they just set up in the new CBA,
He'll just
he
hit
would
it.
not. He would just be under the mark to qualify for
Well,
MVP.
if they didn't have games left,
Yeah, but they're locked into their seed probably after tonight. If the
I
Celtics
think he's still
win.
gonna play. All right, so he'll play at least 64.
Yeah, but still,
I mean,
point is,
it's
he missed a
Embiid's
chunk
played
of games.
64.
Didn't he miss 16 games?
it's 60, 63 for Giannis, 65 for Embiid, 68 for Jokic.
Okay,
How
well,
much
there you
for
go.
Tatum though?
70 at least.
Well, Tatum doesn't really want to win an MVP
73.
because he just doesn't play good for a whole season. He
That was
Playing
to
good
take
for
like
a whole
month
season's
off.
overrated. I want like 3 months of just God mode, and I want it to come towards the end of the season where recency is like on the mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really. I'm so sick of Jack's right. Like, I'm so sick of the MVP conversation. Giannis is the only player out of those guys that is like really a. This is a tough way to put it. Winning player like that intimidates me in a playoff series. Like, I'm a Celtics fan, so Embiid doesn't scare me because they've always beaten up on the Sixers. Plus, Embiid's never made the conference finals. Jokic is not the kind of player in the fourth quarter that I'm like fearing. Giannis is the only type of guy that's like going to take over a
the
game
fear in you, and even
get baskets himself. Even though Middleton typically is their ISO get a bucket guy, but Giannis is a monster. I can't explain. I can't put it into words the difference, but to me, it's just like if you could pick one player to be on your team in the playoffs, who are you picking? There's your answer.
Interesting starting 5 tonight here, everybody.
Muscala. This is weird.
Very weird.
I think that's a message to Grant.
I don't think it's a message to Grant as much as it is like
Big Grant's a little
I think no, I think they just picked their spot last night, right? Like you start Grant because Rob is out and you're playing Embiid, but he's going to be off the bench in the playoffs anyway, so there's no point in starting him unless the matchup like specifically dictates for it. Does that make sense? That's what I was talking about pregame with somebody.
I'm kind of heated they're playing tonight. I'm not going to lie. I kind of wish there was no game today because I don't care.
Me too.
Like that game yesterday was maybe my favorite game I watched all year, even though they lost. Like I thought that game ruled. The refs weren't really annoying. They got involved at the end when the Celtics came back, which was really wild. Like I feel like the Grant, like Celtics got the ball back call was a makeup call because Derek White got ran over like a second before that, and they didn't call anything. Like the real foul on that play was Derek White getting by Tobias Harris.
Yeah,
I don't know why the Grant one was a foul, but whatever.
It was just
he
as
got hit in
bad.
the face. Embiid hit him in the face.
Shut up, Grant. I've had enough of Grant. Grant needs to stop talking. I've actually like starting to get annoyed with Grant. He's like
Oh,
complaining
now
about the
now
refs.
you're
Talk too
getting
much.
annoyed with Grant right now.
I'm annoyed with him like complaining.
I
I will
mean,
say he does talk too much, but at the same time, like if you're gonna tech up Grant, you got to tech up the Sixers for doing the exact same thing the entire night. You know
I
what I'm saying?
agree.
Like
I
Grant needs to
agree.
stop, but like at the same time, it's a double standard at that point. And you know what? I'll also say the double standard's probably his own fault for talking so much. But yeah, I don't know.
The fact that they said the same exact thing and were cursing at refs, both Tucker and Embiid, I just thought was garbage.
Landon Smart is out. He's not playing. The Celtics are not going to have an easy night tonight. I mean, I know the Raptors aren't great, but they're sitting a lot of their core players. They're starting a weird lineup, and the Raptors are not slowing down. They need to win these games because they're heading into a situation where they need to, try to stay in that upper echelon of the play-in race. They don't want to have to play 2 games to get into the playoffs, so they're going to be trying their. Did I log out?
No, you're here.
Hello?
You were a little laggy
Oh.
for a sec.
No.
Oh, good. You're back.
Both of your
Presses
screens
averted.
fucked up, but my point is the Raptors are not sitting down. If this, this is not going to be an easy game for the Celtics. You look on paper, you see the records, you say, okay, the Celtics should win this game easy. Sitting Tatum, sitting Horford, sitting Smart for injuries or rest purposes, whatever you want to call it. Not going to be an easy game for the Celtics tonight, though.
Did you get to talk to Nick Nurse? Were you in the thing? I know you tweeted like he said stuff. I know I'm asking you as soon as you take a drink. Did you ask him if he plans on having his mouth agape?
Yes.
You did?
I did not ask him. No, I did not ask him that. No.
You should have asked him. He would have never forgot you. Oh, man. I really hope they don't have to play the Raptors in the playoffs because I don't want to deal with this guy for 4+ games.
Yeah.
He's so aggravating. Landon says Raptors just made the rat list. Nick Nurse is the guy.
They've been
for the
there,
rat
man.
list. He's like the epitome of a rat. He's
They're-
so annoying, always complaining. Like, I'll never forget the bubble where he just like ran down the sideline and got them to pass him the ball.
I hated that, man.
He's so irritating. My
Yeah.
God.
I mean, I think they're the reason why that the rat list actually exists.
Who was the initial rat list?
You
I want to
gotta
say it
tell
was
me, man.
Thanasis.
Oh, did we lose Jack?
That looked like he manually left. He didn't lag out.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing. He left us here. I don't appreciate that. My
Left us
goodness.
out in the cold. So mean.
I know. I get it. Now I get to change. Oh, he's back. Yep. There you go.
Oh,
Wants to
well,
come
well,
back
well.
now.
Wow. Look who
Nice you come back.
in.
Give me a break. Come on.
Goes to the game. Now he's too good for us.
Initial rat might have been Trae Young.
Trae Young was one of the first, but I don't know if he was the first. I think Thanasis was for Christmas.
Thanasis,
Kyle was Lowry.
Thanasis might have been the first.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Landon
He
says
starts the rat
Kyrie's an
list
OG
this
rat.
year.
He was like he predecessed the rat list. He preceded it. He came before the rat.
I think it
list.
might have been
annoying.
Thanasis, yeah.
Professional freaking clapper, man. Like
Thanasis should be unemployed.
such a bum. It's like the definite. He's just sitting on that bench like a freaking Make-A-Wish kid.
Well, that's not true. Giannis says he's really important.
Yeah, he's really important for the vibe.
All right. On a
He's
real
as
note,
Go on.
on a real note, as much as it is fun, and I will happily sit here and make fun of Thanasis Antetokounmpo, like he's effectively just Blake Griffin without being good, right? He's Theo Pinson.
Well,
right?
no, he's not
just-
funny.
because you're on the other team. But
No, like
for
Theo
the-
Pinson was always good. Theo Pinson was always good, even
Well,
when he
my
was on the
point
Nets
is-
before he got to the
My
Celtics.
point is, and whatever, you can cut me off if you like. My point is, everybody in Milwaukee likes Thanasis, right? He's a vibes guy for the team. He's in that position to play that role because of his relationship. But like, every team has it. It's easy to make fun of him though because of the way he got it.
Yeah. Well, also, yeah, Blake Griffin's a Hall of Famer probably, and Theo Pinson at least made the league
He's
from
a
being good instead of
Theo
his
Pinson
last
won a
name.
national championship.
Yeah. So there you go. Thanasis, he's not. If his last name's not Antetokounmpo, he's working at Burger King in Greece, and he's
They have
hitting his
Burger King
head
in
on the
Greece?
ceiling because he's too tall for nothing.
I assume that they do. I wonder what they call a
Big-
double quarter pounder with cheese in Greece.
I don't know.
All right, my internet.
Bucks
probably
gave up
working on the stream.
125 plus again last night. 128 to the Wizards.
Doesn't matter.
They won
win.
that game, right? I assume. They
Yeah.
were up last
Yes.
I checked in that one. I have to assume that they did. That's just classic letting go of the rope. That sounds like the Celtics. That was like that Utah game where they won like 122 to 114. I think that was 114.
Yeah.
114.
They
All
won
right.
140 to 128. Yes.
We're in a dead spot.
Gross.
Pregame pick presented by Smash the Odds. Add Smash Odds on Twitter. You can follow them for daily free picks. They're giving out MLB picks as the season gets underway. You'll have the NBA playoffs coming up. Don't miss out. Make yourself some money. Follow them, subscribe. Pick of the night is Raptors plus 3.5. The line may have moved since I received this pick, since the news came out of Tatum and Smart missing tonight's game. But that is the pick.
Let me check the line.
I know we just talked about it. It doesn't look good for the Celtics with Muscala rolling out there to play with the boys.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
The
Jack just
Raptors
threw his head back.
Raptors are now 1-point favorites. They're -1.
They're now 1-point favorites. Well, if you were sharp, you would have got the pick before I gave it to you.
What do you mean, why?
I think it's like a fair question to ask, but like also Chris Webber's in the Hall of Fame, so
yeah,
like Chris Bosh is in the Hall of Fame.
6-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, Rookie of the Year, like averaged 20 and 10 for X amount of seasons, or 20 and however many. Like, as much as you don't think so, like this isn't the Baseball Hall of Fame here. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, they're letting a lot of people in.
You know what I'm saying?
Also, like, if he ended up getting into the Hall of Fame and like he has like a ring on his resume, like if you gave those exact accolades, like you said these accolades, and then you're like in an NBA championship, you'd be like, would this guy deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? You'd be like, yes.
Yeah,
so like
well,
that
championships are important.
It's the rings conversation, and like I love it, and I also hate it
culture
at the same time,
I'm
because
pro
like it changes the way that you view that guy. It's the same thing for like Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony is one of the greatest
All right,
scorers
you
of all
wanna-
time.
You want a brain fuck here? I'll ask William and both of you. Blake Griffin, Kyle Lowry. There you go. There's your ring conversation for you. Who's the better all-time player? Who should be the Hall of Fame?
See, Kyle Lowry's been around for a while. He's been.
They're doing the
pretty
national
good.
Has Blake
anthem
ever
early.
played in the conference finals?
Yeah, he's been in Western Conference Finals once.
I don't think they ever got past the second round.
No, they had to have gone to a conference finals.
No,
maybe.
I don't think so. Let's look.
The Clippers never went to the conference finals.
Yeah, he's never played in the
Oh,
conference
right.
finals.
So no.
It's probably Lowry. I stand by it. I don't like Lowry. I don't really think he was ever that great, but yeah, he's got a ring and was second best player on that championship team, probably. So yeah, you got to give it to him. Is he fat? Sure, which is even more impressive that he did all that while being fat. You don't see Zion doing that. Like Zion
I love how
can't
you
even get
just
on the court.
you turned it into a complete. You're like, meanwhile, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw a couple strays at Zion.
Well, he
in
is
this
fat,
conversation.
or he
I'm not
was.
debating that.
He's not very good anymore.
I don't know what's gonna happen with that guy.
He's
I
gonna
don't
sit
know
there
if
and watch the
neither-
Heat play games, or they're gonna trade him.
William, I don't know if I would say neither one is a true Hall of Famer. I think the bar is a lot lower for the NBA, but both of those guys are accomplished enough to make that argument for them to be in the Hall of Fame.
Let's
especially
look
for
at the
Blake.
current Hall of Fame class. Let me go look at it because this is a decent one. You have Dirk and Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade, who's a rat.
Yeah.
But I don't know who the rest of the guys are. So let's see. Popovich, Tony Parker. This is a strong class. Let's see. How many of these people do I know? Pau Gasol, yes. These guys are executives. Everyone that's a player this year is a pretty powerhouse type player. This is a good class. In the past, you've had like Tony Kukoc get in. Like they
But
have.
I mean,
like,
he was part of some really good squads.
he was, but he wasn't like the guy. I don't even know if he was even starting on those teams. So
I think he was during the time when Jordan was gone.
it's true.
But I mean, they obviously weren't contending for a championship at that point. They weren't really contending until he came back.
Jimmy J says Chris Webber would have a ring without Shaq and Kobe and the cheating refs. You're probably right. That's
You're
one of the
talking about
crazy.
that Sacramento conference final, right?
It would be great if I could get rid of that. Yeah, that's the craziest thing ever. Kings finally back in the playoffs, by the way. Congratulations to them. Did you guys see the fans wait for them at the airport as they came in?
No.
And they were all saying light the beam to the people that could not hear them.
That's awesome.
It's
great.
going to be really fire if they win a playoff series and that beam gets lit. Like those people are going to go nuts. Like if they put the beam on the big screen in the arena, how great would it be if they just got swept?
Don't
Like they
say
don't even get a
that.
win.
Don't put that evil out there, man. They deserve it. The Kings organization, their fan base has been through a lot. They've dealt with so
How
much
much do they actually deserve? Like when do we start getting a little greedy? Let's see. You get past the first round, you can probably say they deserve that. Conference
Yeah.
finals, do they deserve it?
The turnaround that they've had this season, they're one of my picks to make the conference finals. It all depends on what that first round matchup's going to be. Are they locked into the 3 seed?
I don't believe so. The standings are like one of my most frequented tabs. We're just gonna put S in the search bar and it's gonna come right up.
Yeah, I put in
Sorry, I'm back.
2 letters and I pull up the Celtics schedule, so I'm the same way there.
Let's see. Kings, 2 games
we
back
looking at?
of Memphis with
They got 4 on the Suns.
3 to play. They're at least going to be third, yes.
So that's not bad.
Third and what?
The West.
We're talking about Kings. Yeah, if they're going to stay there, and he was saying, what's the expectation for them? I think that they can make the conference finals, but I said it depends on what that matchup is in the first round. Like if the Warriors end up slipping, that's gonna suck. That would be a tough first round matchup.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Kings. Call me crazy. I don't think it matters who they play in the first round. I think they'll get out of the first round. I don't really care.
They should.
Personally, for the story, would like to see them play the Lakers. And I don't want the Lakers to get in the playoffs at all, but if they're going to get in, I kind of want them to play the Kings. Because that's literally the only rivalry the Kings have. So I'd like it to have a little bit of juice for them.
No, that makes sense.
But then if you lose to LeBron Kings, then I can't support you anymore.
Oh, man. Danger.
So it's like essentially high stakes for you. You heard De'Aaron Fox, Mike Brown, and the boys? Listen up.
What happened? No,
I was just saying, like, did they hear me?
Oh, you're warning them. I thought you said they said. Okay, yes.
Mike Brown.
At least Moose can get some shots tonight because they damn sure don't look for him on the court. What happened to the driving kick?
Well, you see, if you give the ball to Muscala, he automatically shoots it. So I would hesitate too.
He also hasn't been very good.
Yeah, so like if he's automatically going to shoot it and you don't think it's going to go in, it's probably not the brightest idea to give him the ball. Unless you're really like up a lot, but even then you can unleash the 3-point avalanche, which sucks. Back to the Kings, Mike Brown versus LeBron would be an interesting storyline too. Got him fired. A little bit
Matthew
of juice.
Dellavedova versus LeBron,
Don't care. He's not playing. He's not involved. He's just there.
I'm just messing with you. All right. Game is tipping in about 5 minutes here. We can wrap up, I suppose, a little bit early because I don't know if you guys have anything else to talk about, but I'm running low on juice here. I've got
how about Mark Cuban blaming everything on Jaylen Brunson's dad?
Weird.
Very funny.
Weird energy.
It's so funny. They're like, we really miss Jaylen Brunson all of a sudden. The other day, Luka was like, I really miss him. And then Mark Cuban comes out now and says that the dad got in the way. And then earlier today, Tim Hardaway Jr.'s dad came out. I shouldn't call him Tim Hardaway Jr.'s dad. Tim Hardaway came out and said, hey, Kyrie and Luka aren't leaders, but Jaylen Brunson was, and now he's not on the team anymore. This is all a little bit juicy.
Yeah,
I didn't really think of it, but this is now 3 people that have come out and been like, Jaylen Brunson, we're talking about him now that we're bad.
I think
Jaylen Brunson's like, I have no comment because I can't believe what's happening to that team.
They are coming apart at the seams. They are coming unglued. It is funny. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with Luka.
I want to say I don't think it's Kyrie, but I'll blame him because F that guy. That team just kind of sucks.
It's not, though.
It was just
bad.
It's just the team sucks, and they can't stay healthy. But they have had a monumental collapse. Make no mistake about it. They've lost 10 of 13 with the season on the line.
They were a powder keg. Like, they were ready to, like, turn into a full-blown dumpster fire. And then, like, Kyrie was just, like, a fucking handful of matches and kerosene. And then it was just all over after that point. You knew he was going to get his stats, but you knew that also him and Luka, I thought, was, like, a weird combination. Like, offensively, you knew it was going to work. Defensively, you knew there was going to be problems.
Jimmy J says no way they can re-sign Kyrie. They are going to re-sign Kyrie. He's going.
I think they'll re-sign him.
Because I don't know who else is going to sign him.
No one else is going to sign him.
No,
and they really don't have a choice either. They're
'cause
kind
they
of
can't afford
strapped.
it. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole reason why you trade for him before free agency if you want to try and keep him. Like, what else are you gonna do?
Even
Unless things
though
get really bad.
even though trading for him did give them flexibility with the cap, because if he walks, I think they get space. I'm not positive on how that works. But there's not a whole lot of guys in
They
this
would have
class that they're going to
some
bring in that's worth bringing in.
they would have some cap space if they let him walk.
Yeah.
I do wonder though. The only thing Byland and I think
We can't please anybody.
apparently.
Jack.
I think the only thing is that if the Lakers could get into play, like they're probably the only other team I could see like going out and signing him just because
but they don't
I don't
have
think
money.
they'd have enough though. Yeah, they wouldn't have enough money.
They're going to have
is
to
their
trade.
cap all messed up.
They just
Well, because they just
have
made all those
D'Angelo
trades at the
Russell now, and he
deadline.
makes a lot
Yeah.
of
They're
money.
gonna have to re-sign Russell. They've got Malik Beasley.
Oh, that's
we
true.
have
They
some more
got
to
Russell.
re-sign.
They're not gonna go
Yeah.
after
Did you
Kyrie.
forget, Tim? Every team in the league was like, hey, let's help the Lakers before the trade deadline.
I like to, repress things that I don't want to think about. So that's
It's remarkable how that always seems to happen. It's
There's
almost
like just a
somebody
black
saying,
gaping
help
hole
them.
in like my CAT scan where I should be thinking about the Lakers. Apparently,
Alrighty, we can wrap up here. Anything else you guys want to say before we get on out of here?
Yes, heading to the Celtics game like Jack or another event? Use promo code HBTC on SeatGeek to save $20 on your first purchase. Be like Lewis. He did it, got to see an awesome game in Philly. You can also go see concerts, comedy shows, other sporting events. Maybe you want to go see the Red Sox lose. Use HBTC, $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. All right, that's it.
Alrighty, Tim, anything?
I got nothing.
All right,
It's a
we can call it there. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. Check us all out on Twitter. Those are below our faces. Check out Vitamin C's on the CLNS YouTube channel, and check out How About Them Celtics right here.
Please
What's
read
up?
my
We
articles on
appreciate it.
Heavy. Nobody
Oh.
is doing it.
Sam's in the dump.
Nope, nobody's reading them.
Go read Sam's articles at Heavy. Read mine too. Help me out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check us out on all our socials. Subscribe to the channel. Check out Heavy on Celtics. And we will see you guys potentially podcast dropping Friday morning. Are we recording tomorrow?
We can record tomorrow.
We'll figure it out. We'll
I won't
find
be,
something.
Well, you're there tonight, so you can't do it.
I can't.
And I
tonight.
can't
But
do it.
at the very least, we will see you on Friday night for a pregame show, and maybe check the channel for a pod in the morning. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you later.